Welcome to the next installment of my video lecture series for micro theory. And in this particular video lecture, I'm going to talk about perfect competition, in particular, the notion of profit maximization and loss minimization. And the purpose of this is just to give you an idea of some of the curves, etc., that are being used to illustrate profit maximization and the points that are important for you to understand to be able to understand these graphs. So here we have average total cost, and again it's a U-shaped average total cost curve. We have a J-shaped marginal cost curve, and just make sure that you remember that marginal cost intersects average total cost at the minimum of average total cost. So remember, this is a perfectly competitive marketplace. The world market sets the price, and these individual firms accept that price. They have no discretion over pricing, and that in a perfectly competitive marketplace, price is equal to demand is equal to marginal revenue. Also remember that profit maximization occurs where marginal cost is equal to marginal revenue. So if we follow the marginal cost curve until we hit marginal revenue, that will give us our profit maximizing output level. So in order to determine profit maximization, we have to calculate, or we have to at least graphically illustrate, what is total revenue and what is total cost. And if you remember, total revenue is just P times Q. So if we multiply P and Q together, that will give us our total revenue, and it's that area there, that blue area right there, which is the product of price times quantity. Again, we have one piece of the information that we need. We have total revenue. Now we need total cost, and total cost is just average total cost multiplied by Q. So if we take Q and we go up until we hit average total cost and then go straight across, that will give us our average total cost for this output level. And if we multiply average total cost and Q together, we get this light shaded area at the bottom. So again, to review, this is total revenue. The bottom part is total cost, and what is left over is economic profit. So let me just illustrate a few other points that are important to understand about this. Number one, taking a look at what are the break-even points for this firm. The break-even points occur where average total cost and the price are equivalent to one another. So wherever average total cost intersects price here and here, we will have break-even points. So that's the first break-even point, and we will lose money at any quantities below that. And then any quantities above the second break-even point, QBE2, are going to have losses associated with them. And the intermediate section there is the range of profitability for that firm. So between QBE1 and QBE2, we know that this firm is going to be profitable. But we're looking at profit maximization, where profits are at a maximum. So if we take a look at this, we want to take a look in particular, what's the difference between marginal cost and marginal revenue at these different output levels. So I can show you that right there for the output levels represented by these two arrowed lines. You can see that marginal revenue is greater than marginal cost. Therefore, by producing that item, you're going to be bringing in more revenue than it's costing you to produce that item. Therefore, your profits are going to go up. So for all these Qs, you can see here that marginal revenue is greater than marginal cost until we get to the point where marginal cost intersects marginal revenue. So this area in here is additional profits that can be generated by increasing output from the first break-even level, going all the way up until we get to the profit maximizing output level. We can illustrate the same point for output levels that are greater than Q pi. So if we have producing output in this area in here, you can see that marginal cost is greater than marginal revenue. It's costing us more to produce that particular item than we're actually selling it for. So increasing output past Q pi actually is decreasing profits. So it's easy to understand from here. If we start at QBE, we have zero profits. As Q increases, if we move along here, Q, profits are going to continue to go up. They go up and up until they reach a maximum. And then once I start increasing output past Q pi, what I'm doing is actually losing money per unit. So as I increase output, profits are decreasing and decreasing until we get back to the point where we are breaking even. Alternately, we can also analyze what goes on with a firm that is losing money, and if this firm engages in profit maximization, it will minimize its losses, i.e. it's still maximizing its profits. If you take a look here, you can see that this firm's average total cost curve is above price for every level of Q. So this firm is always going to lose money. But what we're concerned with, if we're maximizing profits in a scenario where the firm's always losing money, we can pick an output level where the firm loses the least amount of money. So again, we just follow where marginal cost intersects marginal revenue and go straight down, and that gives us the profit maximizing output level. If we follow that back up, Q pi up to average total cost and across, that gives us average total cost. So average total cost times Q. This orange shaded area is total cost. We also want to know what total revenue is. We know that total revenue is P times Q. So the blue area down the bottom is total revenue. So we know we have total cost here, and we have total revenue in the bottom. So that area that's left over, that orange area that's left over, is the economic losses of this particular firm.